Take two? That's your house?
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
Live on my YouTube channel, this is Rich Mancuso. As always, this Thursday night, Keep It in the Ring, February 19, 2026. Welcome in, everyone. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, along with Streampunk Entertainment and TD Sports Talk with Tommy D, my co-host, colleague, producer. He will be with me in a moment. And we have a lot to do. The boxing calendar scrolled at the bottom of the screen. As always, my friends, do look at it. A lot of boxing coming up in the next few weeks, as you know. And also my social media handles, xring786, facebook.com, Rich Mancuso. Like the Keep It in the Ring page on Facebook, and latinosports.com is where you read most of my content. So log into that as well. So this edition of Keep It in the Ring This Week Live comes to you as always, and let's get it going. A lot we're going to do tonight, the next hour, a little more. Well, Saturday, will be important because we have a defining fight for Ryan Garcia, mariobarrios for the WBC welterweight title at 147. We'll get to that. We'll analyze it, break it down. Tysonfury, he's in the headlines again. His next fight is set on the comeback in April. We'll get into that. Zuffa Boxing, Dana White, Oscar De La Hoya, the war outside of the ring with these three. We'll get to all of that as well and break it down. So there's a lot of boxing news and fights that have been made. We'll get over and talk about that. WWE will come up also. WrestleMania season. Who is the masked man? Still, we got to get to that matter, don't we? Also, the WrestleMania card looks like some of those matches are being planted in stone, as they say. Nostalgia fact of the week. Let's get to it. This is Keep It in the Ring with Rich Mancuso and Tommy D in a moment. So here we go again, folks. I got to talk about this first this week. Why? Why, oh why is this happening? Of course, it's about the money. I'm talking about what was announced by Ring Magazine, and most boxing people have confirmed it. It is Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather, two retired Hall of Fame fighters. Illustrious history with both. We know what they've done in the sport. An exhibition April 25th in the Congo to be seen on Netflix. There's the key word there, my friends. Netflix. That's where the money is for boxing in the sport. No doubt about it. Promoters are going there. Hey, Mike Tyson's no dummy. Neither is Floyd Mayweather. They've both made a tremendous amount of money in their illustrious Hall of Fame boxing careers. However, what we have here is an exhibition, a fight that should not be going on. Why? Well, you want to see legitimacy in the sport of boxing. You want to see contested fights that mean something. You want to see fights that fans can appeal to. Does this fight appeal to you? Doesn't appeal to me. I saw enough of Mike Tyson in my career as a writer covering him, and Floyd Mayweather Jr. as well. Both of them, of course, made boxing history in their respective weight divisions. I've seen enough of these two to know that both of them don't need to go in the ring again, though Tyson did meet Jake Paul and got annihilated just last year. Mayweather obviously is surmounted in headlines about having financial issues. That's the talk. And you put it all together, Mike Tyson doesn't have the money he used to have. You put it all together, there's the fight. Why are you going to have it? Why the fans will buy into it on Netflix? Most people around the country, around the world have Netflix. They'll tune in for the intrigue of it. That's about it. The fight absolutely means nothing. Now, you know I'll be watching because I'm going to be interested to see how these two old-timers look against each other. You know you're going to be watching also because you have the intrigue to see what's going to go on when these two get in the ring in April. But does boxing really need this? No, it doesn't. There are more important fights going on and more fighters out there that need the big fights, and Netflix could do better than this. Instead of looking for another profit, which they obviously will get because of two Hall of Fame fighters who are coming out of retirement again for an exhibition that means absolutely nothing. So the question is, why are they doing it, and should we watch it? And let me bring in on that note my co-host, colleague, producer, Tommy D, TD Sports Talk. Tommy, Come on in. We missed each other last week. We're back together this week. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well, man. How's everything with you, Rich?
Well, I'm feeling a little better. I've been under the weather, but I'm feeling a little better. And of course, congratulations belated again on your Seattle Seahawks winning the Super Bowl championship. I know you
Thank you,
wanted
thank
it.
you,
You got it. We both knew it was going to happen. Defensive game, but good job, my friend.
thank you. Feels good to be a champion, to win, to see them win again.
Of course it
Feels
does.
good.
It's always good when your team wins a championship, especially the Super Bowl, and for that matter. Hey, Tom, let's get into what I just talked about Tyson and Floyd Mayweather Jr. And by the way, fans, comment as we go along. We want you to do that. We'll get to as many of those comments as possible as we go along on Keep It in the Ring this week live. Tom, what do you think? Do you agree with me or disagree with me? This is another farce.
I think you know it's an exhibition, so who cares, right? So I have no problem with it. If it was something that mattered or something that counted, like when Pacquiao fought Barrios, that counted, that was for a title, then I have a problem with it. But this is just an exhibition. It doesn't count. It doesn't matter. It might be scripted to a sense. There might be special rules. Who knows? I mean, to me, it's a joke. But you know what? If people are going to pay and watch it or sub to Netflix or pay attention to it, that's on them. I don't know if I'm interested in seeing it. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So,
you wouldn't be interested just to be intrigued about it at all?
no, it does nothing for me. It doesn't
Well, what
prove
about on the
anything.
end? What about boxing fans who knew how Tyson, who knew Mayweather, watched him throughout their illustrious careers, and boxing fans in general? Do you think they'll tune in? Well, there'll probably be an undercard underneath it, obviously. But do you think the regular boxing fan
If
is
the
going
undercard
to
is good,
grab this?
if the undercard is good, maybe people will watch it for the undercard. I believe wasn't Amanda and Katie Till on the undercard of the Tyson Paul fight? I think.
Yes,
So I
yes, it
mean, maybe
was.
they'll watch it. But if you're a boxing fan, if you're bored, then I can understand. If you have something better to do, then I don't think this is a fight that anybody really that's really going to be interested in. To be honest.
No, it means absolutely nothing. It's an exhibition. The only thing it means is money for these two. And for Netflix, of course. They'll
Yeah.
get some more subscribers and they'll make more money. That's what it's all about. Absolutely nothing. And my final word on it until is a dark eye for the sport because it doesn't help the sport when you have to look at an exhibition with these two famed Hall of Famers who did so much for the sport at the time they were both active. And now, at their age as well, past, what's the use? Just an exhibition. You might as well make it a pro wrestling
Yeah.
encounter. That's all scripted. All right, let's move on, Tom, because now we get to the real business. Because we have a big fight card this weekend on the Zone pay per view. We're talking about Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios. Garcia looking in this 12 rounder to take Barrios's WBC welterweight title at 147. Now, this is an interesting fight. But before they get in the ring, the 27-year-old Garcia, with no title, by the way, looking for his first to say that he is indeed what he says, one of the best fighters of all time. 27-year-old Garcia says he's now planning to grab as many titles as I can complete complete the picture of a career that to many is very incomplete. And, he and Shakur Stevenson, they've been talking about getting in the ring together. It's always talking for Ryan Garcia, but now it's time to win. After that loss to Wally Romero last May in Times Square, the questions again about Ryan Garcia. Will he ever be Ryan Garcia? But many are saying he's more focused than ever. He looks a little drained, Tom. But it's interesting. Barrios has his former trainer, Joe Goosen. That's another storyline in here, as Garcia's father is now in his corner. But, this Ryan Garcia doesn't get a world title Saturday. He's still nothing to many in boxing. Do you agree?
I agree. If he cannot get the title this Saturday, which you know what, I don't think it's going to be as easy as some people think. I think, at first when they made this fight, I thought this was kind of like, they were rolling out the red carpet to give this kid, another opportunity that he doesn't deserve to win a title, and it's set in stone for him to win. But I don't think Mario Barrios is gonna be there to lay down. And I think this is a tough fight. you look at the size differential. Barrios is Ryan. It's not one to like go in and beat your lights out. He's there. He's got to land something and try to finish you. And then Barrios is going to be a tough out. I see this going to be an exciting fight for the fans, the eyes. They're going to go at it. It's going to be kind of like a brawl. Nothing technical in this fight. And I don't know. I think Barrios can beat Brian and kind of get rid of him.
Well, we got the picture there, the image of him and Shakur Stevenson, because that popped up on social media this week. And they're going at it even before Garcia gets in the ring with Barrios, which is interesting. Always talking now. It's time after losing to Wally Romero on Times Square last year. That's what's coming out. These two apparently want to eventually face each other, but it's all up to Ryan Garcia doing his job Saturday night in Las Vegas. I believe it's at the MGM Grand Arena. Barrios, talk about him. 29-2, 18 KOs. His draw with Manny Pacquiao and Abel Ramos, both of those were controversial fights. One of 3 fighters in boxing history to have consecutive draws in championship fights. Barrios is much taller. Well, not that much taller, but he is taller. He fights inside. Garcia from the outside. But Garcia might push Barrios harder in this one with that left. Remember, Ryan Garcia still has a good left to his repertoire.
That's all he has. That's
it. And you remember,
he has nothing else.
Remember, though, in the Gervonta Davis fight, they made an awful lot of money. The body shot stopped him, so he might be susceptible to that. But Garcia looks strained, making weight. I watched the press conference today, the final presser just over about an hour ago, and the weigh-in is tomorrow. He looks strained. He's been doing a lot of social media outside of this fight with other things to distract everyone about what he's been doing. You saw him training, but not as much as his social media with all these influences and stuff. That, of course, he's a phenom with that, Ryan Garcia.
Yeah. Listen, you know what told me that he was going to be drained and he didn't look too good? I saw a picture of him because Johnny Boy, our guy Johnny Boy's out there in Vegas, and he took a picture with Ryan. I guess he's there. He got a chance to talk to him. And if you look at the picture with him and Ryan did not look good.
No, he looked strange.
It almost looked like Johnny Boy was holding him up a little bit to take that picture. So
it comes down to this, in the Romero fight, remember, that was terrible for Ryan Garcia on his comeback with all his controversy behind his career, the missing the weight, the PED involvement, the suspension. The Romero fight, remember, combined the two fighters' lowest punch outputs according to CompuBox last May in a 12-round fight. 123 punches landed out of 490 thrown. I don't know if we'll see that in this one, because I think Barrios is much more trained to punch and land punches. And I could see Barrios winning this fight. Maybe go down to the decision. I do not see Ryan Garcia stopping Mario Barrios. And Barrios will finally get over that 2 consecutive draw controversial decisions.
So are you picking Mario Barrios to win this fight?
I am. Yeah.
You are picking. Okay. 903 Boxing says, I don't think Barrios is going to lay down, but he got a lot of miles on him. That is true. Barrios has a lot of miles on him. He's been in some wars, especially the last 2 fights. The Pacquiao fight, I thought he held back a little bit, but before that against Ramos, that was, a bit of a war. So, yeah, I can see that, but I don't know. It's something about Ryan, the way he looks. I think Barrios is going to win. I'm picking Barrios to win this fight as well.
Yeah, I do. And when you shift, this is a good undercard as well on the Zone Saturday night. Hakora, his visa was finally issued. There was talk that he might make the fight. That was solved. Gary Russell for the WBA Junior Welterweight title. Any thoughts on that one?
I think that's going to be a really good fight. I don't know the jet lag now because now he had to wait a couple of days, Hiroka, and he's finally getting in. I don't know if he's coming in tomorrow morning or what, because I don't think he's arrived yet. So I think that's going to have a little bit of effect. I was looking to pick the upset in this fight. I like Hiroka. I mean, both of these guys haven't really been active, and this is a tough fight for Gary. But with the jet lag and stuff, on him having to fly in, that's tough. So
yeah, he might be drained.
Now, but before,
he might be drained. Yeah, he might
drained
be
and tired. The jet lag.
Yeah.
So
There was a lot of talk that fight might not go off because of the visa issue, but it's been solved. And a long-awaited Richardson Hitchens Oscar Durate fight. I look forward to that. Hitchens, the IBF Junior welterweight title, looking to unify possibly that division at 140. Shakur Stevenson has the WBO belt. Russell, the WBA belt, and Dalton Smith, WBC belt. Tom, I like this. It's been anticipated, and now we have it.
This is a good fight. I think this is a good test for Hitchens. Um, this is a typical, good, skilled, athletic fighter against a straightforward, come to fight, Mexican puncher, and usually the athletic, the great boxer, the great technical fighter usually wins most of the time. I expect Hitchens to perform great. I expect Hitchens to maybe stop Duarte. A lot of people don't see this, but I think Hitchens is going to stop Duarte. I'm going to call Hitchens in the 8th round. I think he's going to outbox him. He's going to, the jab, which I think he's probably got the best jab in the game. He's going to set him up. He has a good 1-2. I think he's going to stop Duarte in 8. I got Hitchens winning by knockout and making a
Tommy,
statement.
you know what?
Probably move up to 147.
It could go. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Hitchens will win this. I don't think he's going to stop him. I think this one will go the decision route. And then where does he go from there if he indeed does win and prevail? They've been talking about him and Shakur as we try to unify this division that Teofimo Lopez tried to do and couldn't do, as we know. Dalton Smith, though, never count that guy out in that division of 140. Read the comments as we go along, Tom.
Everybody's commenting on what's up. My man 903 says Hiroko's got an uphill battle. I definitely agree. And Duarte's gonna run into some, hot stuff. He's gonna run into something, and I see that happening too. I think once he gets buzzed in this fight, then Hitchens is going to finish him. I think he's going to make a big statement, kind of like the way Keyshawn made a statement against Jermaine Ortiz, and then that just set up Hitchens with a big money fight, hopefully in the summertime.
And we look forward to that undercard before Garcia and Barrios get in the ring Saturday night on the Zone from Las Vegas. Of course, that's the fight people are looking forward to seeing as well. And will Ryan Garcia get his first title to finally make a statement that he's a champion? We'll see. All right, also on the weekend coming up Saturday, after their first controversial fight 2 years ago, on the Zone in Nottingham, England, it'll be George Warrington and Leigh Wood, junior lightweights, two popular fighters from the UK, and there are a lot of them right now, from Nottingham. Warrington leads, and this, Warrington and Lee, this is a good fight, Tom. It's not for a title, but a good one. A former two-time champ is Warrington, and Wood defended the WBA featherweight title against Warrington in Shepherd then in October of 2023. And, of course, the loser of this fight could retire. That's been coming out of, that's been the storyline out of this one. But that's a good one on the Zone as well this weekend before you get into Garcia Barrios. It's earlier in the day from the UK here on the East Coast. But the heavyweight division, that's a good one, right?
That's a good one. That's a rematch. The first fight was an exciting fight. If you like bar brawls and go have a few beers and go in and throw punches, this is the fight to watch. Warrington was winning that fight. I think he hurt Lee Wood early. I think Wood had a cut in that fight, and Wood got a spectacular knockout to finish him. Later in the fight, that was a real good fun fight, and I think we're gonna get another good fun fight again. Both guys are chinny, so I think it's not going the full distance.
And there'll be a lot of rooting interest there in Nottingham on Saturday. Again, you catch that earlier in the day on the Zone. I don't know the exact time. And then you shift over, and then you're watching Garcia and Barrios in that great undercard. All right, but the heavyweight division, always interesting, becoming more interesting again, because the guy I said that retired and would unretire surely did. It's now official. They had the press conference. Tyson Fury's return is against Madurov. Saturday, March 11th, and here we go, on Netflix. It's Fury. When Fury was asked, why are you coming back? I know that's not in March, Tom. It's in April, isn't it? Did I say March? April. It's April 11th. Yeah.
April 11th.
Fury was, yeah.
That's
Fury
Saturday.
on Netflix. Fury was asked,
Yeah,
why are you coming back?
archives. Everyone after
You know what Fury said? One reason was
say
to
it again. I'm
make
sorry,
box.
breaking up.
Fury said Fury was asked at the press conference the other day there in the UK, why did you decide to come back? Well, you know he wasn't going to retire for good. This is like the third time he's come out of retirement. He said one reason was to make boxing great again. He said boxing is boring. That's Tyson Fury, the character.
He is a character, and listen, I got to give you credit. You called this. I didn't think the guy would come back. I wasn't really interested in him coming back, but you said he was going to come back, and
Oh yeah,
he's fighting
yeah.
a guy. You know, the guy's Makhmudov is a good puncher, but he's got no chin.
Well, he's
This is
shorter.
setup
He's
fight.
much shorter because Fury's 6'9", and the Russian is his best fight was 12 rounds. A very hard decision he got over David Allen last year. So you know, I wouldn't count out Madrov, the Russian, from pulling something off here, though he's much shorter. But you never know what you're going to get from Tyson Fury. You know, he's got the power. That's just it. You know.
I mean, he's tall, he's rangy, but I just don't like Makhmudov. I think he's been exposed a few times. He's got no chin. I think once Fury lands something good, then the guy's going to go down. So.
And then we look to see if Fury does indeed win this. Where does he stand in this heavyweight division again? I mean, Usyk, I don't know if wants to fight him again, assuming Usyk's still the champion. There are fights out there he can have. But first, we got to wait and see what happens in April if Tyson Fury indeed gets his comeback win the third time. All right, and the heavyweight division, still a topic. A lot of it this week. Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois, Saturday, May 9th, and that's going to be on the Zone in Manchester. And notice a lot of these big heavyweight fights are taking place in the UK. Wardley's first title defense, WBO heavyweight championship, Dubois, the former IBF champ. Both of these fighters punch well, powerful. It's going to be a British showdown. Combined, these two fighters have a 90% knockout rate. So that's why I look for a good one here come in the UK when these two get in the ring for a title, for a heavyweight title. And hopefully maybe one day again we'll have a unified heavyweight champion. But boxing never seems to get that right.
Yeah, this is like another opportunity for Dubois after losing to Usyk and then throwing that party the night before or a couple days before and just totally looked terrible against Usyk in that rematch. And I think Wardley's there to make a statement. I think Wardley's going to go in there. I wouldn't be surprised if Wardley takes Dubois out in 3 or less. I think this is a fight that Wardley makes a statement and he stops Dubois in devastating fashion.
Well,
I think
you
in like
see,
3 or less.
how they were advertising it on the poster, don't blink. And that's because both of them have power and that 90% knockout ratio combined between the two. So I'm looking forward to that heavyweight fight and see where that goes in a division right now that could be up for grabs, especially if Usyk decides that that's enough. So the Dana White circus continues, or the controversy with Oscar De La Hoya and Eddie Hearn. We'll get into that. But Oscar De La Hoya's got his own problems. There's talk about foreclosure of his business, Golden Boy Promotions. And there's the talk about him and Virgil Ortiz. Ortiz won his first battle in court. Oscar says he has no animosity with Virgil Ortiz, whether he leaves him or not, but he's still under contract, and that's the way it'll be. De La Hoya says the fight will go on. Ortiz and Boots will go on at some point in the next few months. It'll be made. That remains to be seen. Okay? But also look at Golden Boy does not have an extension from the Zone streaming network, though Oscar says they have an agreement in place. There's been a legal battle, though, with Virgil Ortiz Jr. and Oscar De La Hoya and Ortiz's attorney. Oscar again says this fight will happen. We've been hearing this. Ortiz wants to get away from him. This is very interesting, Tom. Your thoughts?
I don't know what to do and or what to say about Oscar and what he's doing with his promotional. I mean, they got a big card this Saturday. It's a, let's see what they do numbers wise. It is pay per view. The last one for Golden Boy on the zone. I guess they're working with the PBC. This is a bunch of PBC fighters and Golden Boy fighters. Let's see. The card looks good. It's a nice stack card, and I don't know what he does from there. I don't what he's doing, trying to block the boots and Virgil Ortiz fight. Um, I think that's a big fight for both fighters. These guys have been tied to each other since 147. So I don't know. It's hard to say about what to say about Oscar, except I don't think the guy is mentally stable. I think the
No.
guy is off. I think he has
No,
issues.
that's where we're getting into Dana White saying about him as well. They're at it. Dana White responded also to Eddie Hearn's Zuffa belt, saying that it's cringe comments. First of all, Oscar has his clapback Thursday. Dana White says he's a fool doing that. There's been a lot on social media back and forth, and not very nice with all these guys, the three of them. The promotional war out of the ring, as I say. Dana is and Eddie Hearn are going at it. A cringe belt. Zuffa Boxing is here. Whether they have 1,000 people or 500 at the Apex in Las Vegas, and we'll get into that the latest show and what's coming ahead. And also, it looks amateurish right now. Dana White says, talk to me about it by the end of the year to see where we're at. There's a lot, maybe jealousy here that Dana is going in a different direction with the sport, with Zuffa Boxing. But the way Dana just badmouths Eddie Hearn, and the way Oscar gets involved in it with Dana White as well, you got a feeling that Oscar De La Hoya and Eddie Hearn, who work together well many times, they have it in for Dana White because of what he's doing. But let's examine this a little more. Because Zuffa had another Paramount Plus production on Sunday night. The heavyweights, Efa Ajabi, he dropped Charles Martin with the right hand, 111 of the fourth round. Ajabi now 21-1, 15 knockouts. Heavyweight division, he's a force to be reckoned with. Dana White has him under contract. And of course, Dana White next week also has Sunday, March 8th, in 2 weeks, is the next production from the Apex. And that's going to be the Cruiserweight title up for grab. And it's another story here with Jai Opatai and Brandon Glanton at the Apex, where De La Hoya said, who's Glanton? Eddie Hearn says, who's Glanton? Opatai, we know, is going to be fighting first time for a Zuffa title and the ring belt. They're aligned also with the Turk guy. Okay? The Apex is their home. Tom, here's the thing here, too. Dana White said they're having their own division, and we're going to get into those division belts. Opatai Glanton, the Cruiserweight title. Now, look at this, because Dana White says we're different, and we're going to be different, and here's why. One of the reasons, again, 8 weight divisions, not recognizing 168, 154, 140, 130, 122, 115, 112, 108, and 105. All right? So he's not recognizing all the divisions. The Zuffa title is going to be recognized. Yet Opatai is fighting to defend a title and wants to unify the Cruiserweight division. He wants all the belts. Yet Dana White's original concept here was, it's our title. We're not recognizing the other sanctioning organizations. That kind of goes against his word. Is this working in the early stages for Dana White and Zuffa? Does the war continue with Eddie Hearn and Dana White? Will they ever work together? Your thoughts?
I don't know. I think time will tell. I think Dana's kind of like switching up a little bit. But at the end of the day, right? I mean, we got to see what happens. These last two Zuffa cards have been pretty good. Yeah, they're not packing up the crowds. It's a small little arena, but the fights that they put on, the last two events, like the first event was kind of, they only had one good fight, but the last two events have been great. That main event, the heavyweights with Ajagba and Martin, that was a good fight. Martin looked good those first 2 rounds.
He did
until Ajagba caught him, right? There was another card. It was an upset. Abel Mejia, he lost against Joe Benito. That was a good fight too, where the underdog won. And then I can't remember the name of the guy, knockout of the year already. I mean, I don't think anybody's topping out the fight that just happened, where he'd stopped the guy with an uppercut. And forgive me, guys, I forgot the names the two fighters. But I mean, that uppercut was ridiculous. So I mean, two super cards that Dana White
They've
has
been good.
promoted. The
They've
last
been
two
good.
have been phenomenal. Oh,
The fighters haven't been supposedly not getting paid big money. That's the other talk here, and as well as the UFC fighters under Dana White, though despite that he says otherwise. So there is controversy here with Dana White and Zuffer, and of course, again, it's Oscar De La Hoya going war wars with him out of the ring, and you know Eddie Hearn respects what Zuffer is doing too. So in a way, he's talking bad and he's also talking good about White and Zuffer. I don't know how you could transcribe all this, what's going on. Dana White responded to Eddie Hearn saying these are cringe champions. Dana White said that Hearn works for his dad still. And Dana White said the same thing. You know, they're getting the dads involved with this that had all the money.
well, that's where they got the money from. That's what Eddie got it for most part. And listen, and Dana's getting the money. He's backed by Turkey, and he's got TKO behind him as well. So,
and so does Eddie
so
Hearn.
Be able to put up.
So in other words, we're supposed to have you. You know how I look at it? It's pure nonsense. Boxing is always good when you have competition, but you have no unity here, and it's ugly, and that doesn't make for a good look for the sport overall, because they can't get together on the same page. And what do I say time and time again? And I want fans to chime in on this, comment as we go along. Unity in boxing is so important. You try and unify championships. You try and unify the promoters to work together to get the championship fights at all different fighters and with different promotions and different streaming networks. This just makes it more ugly. They can't work together, and it could be because they know, and I'm talking De La Hoya and Hearn, and I'm not taking sides here, Tom, they could be seeing that Dana White and Zuffer have something good going here, and they're building on it. That White's building.
No, yeah, but you have the titles, and everybody talks about the titles. But if you could put on a product that what they did the last two cards, where it's fan friendly, where fans are going to get up and be like, "Wow, man, these fights have been great," then that's what matters. That's what fans want to see as well. So if he keeps doing what he's doing, I mean, eventually, people are going to pick up, and let's see how the ratings are doing also with Paramount. So it might not always, be about the titles. It's about, the product itself and about the fighters, right? And are they performing to to what the audience wants to see? You know what I'm saying? So time will tell. And so far, Dana's proved me a little bit wrong, because I didn't think this was going to be anything successful. And it's only been 3 cards, and 2 out of 3.
And they're building. The Apex is not fight venue type of style. It's more like a small club show, you ask me. Yeah. And then less than 700 people in there. The crowd is really not that vibrant and loud. They're not boisterous at all. But the fighters know that. It's just a matter of what are these fighters getting paid. And apparently with Paramount Plus and behind him, TKO Endeavor and Dana White with Zuffer and all of that, they got to be getting paid something. So you don't know who to believe here.
Yeah.
We do know this, though, that the Zone and Matchroom and Eddie Hearn signed a new 5-year deal. And that's good. I don't know if the subscription rates are going to go up because of this, but they did extend their long-standing partnership. And, of course, Matchroom has been the worldwide leader for the sport, covering a record amount of events, not only with Hearn, but De La Hoya and some other promotions as well. But Dana White with TKO Endeavor and the UFC, he's looking also at the UFC now, the White House event commemorating 250 years of America in July. He's got to try and get John Jones to headline that, maybe Conor McGregor. Hand it to him. Dana White is a businessman. He knows how to promote. He knows how to get the interest. And I think he's achieved that with Zuffer.
So far, I mean, like I said, I don't know what the ratings are, but I do know that I was satisfied with what I saw the last 2 weeks, right? So it all depends on, where does he go from here? Does he keep producing good cards? And then do the fighters remain, committed to them? and they stay happy. Are they going to pay? Is he going to pay the fighters what they're worth? At the end of the day, because we've seen the problem with the UFC and the fighters, but he does do the bonuses just like in the UFC, right? They got the performance of the night, and I think they got knockout of the night too, or something like that. So I think that's a cool perk. The guy that got the upset, Benito, right? I think he won performance of the night, and I don't think he was getting paid much. He was the underdog coming in, so that was a nice little extra payday that he got. So those incentives, they're going to count for something eventually.
And still to be determined is how many more fighters will Dana White sign? How many will go over to him? Because they know they're going to be active, number one.
Yes.
And Dana White's going to need some named fighters for this to be a roving success. Opatai's one of them. I think Mosley Jr. is another. There were talks about a few others that might be joining the Zuper Dana White promotion. So that's something to look forward to in the next months as this goes along. Tom, it's interesting to see, though, that, Oscar, have you watched the clapback with
I've
Oscar
been
De La
watching him.
Hoya?
I haven't seen. He hasn't done one in a while.
Well, some of the things he says are ridiculous. Some of the things he says are very, very valid and true. Oscar De La Hoya's got a forum there that Dana White obviously is paying attention to.
He is, but listen, this is what promoters do. Listen, in the old days, King and Aram, they didn't really get along. They would go at each other too. This is what these promoters
without
do,
social media too.
So now everything is social media, and you got De La Hoya being a clown, putting videos and stuff. And some of it is funny. Yeah, some of it is funny, but then some of it is like this guy is off his rocker. So.
Tom, let's move on. What's with Xander Zayas, WBO, WBA junior middleweight champ? Social media now. He's becoming the new Ryan Garcia, I think. You got to look at this. I don't like this. To me, this isn't Xander. Calling Devin Haney a diva. He wants Josh Kelly, though, to unify those titles even more. But now he's calling out Devin Haney, and he hasn't been nice about it. Called him a diva. What do you think?
I think listen, I think there's certain ways you can talk back and talk your ish, right? I didn't really like it per se, because unless he was going to say, all right, let's make the fight, and then I'm okay. But if he's not looking to fight Devin, because Devin called Xander food, saying that was basically saying that Xander's easy. So I understand, the back and forth. And listen, you talk your trash, but talk your trash if you're really going to look to make the fight. So it looks like Xander's looking to unify.
Xander is usually very low key. Mello doesn't do this. So this caught me off guard. We'll see where this goes. And we got this: Khalil Smith and David Morrell. Morrell. He's been around, and he fought David Benavidez, WB interim light heavyweight title, April 9th, Liverpool on the zone, according to Mike Coppinger and The Ring. That's a fight to look at. And speaking of Benavidez, he gets his blessings from the WBC. He can hold his light heavyweight title as he goes after the cruiserweight title of Zudo Ramirez. Benavidez says after the Ramirez fight, back to light heavyweight, he's eyeing either Bivol or Benavides. Kudos to the WBC not going against Benavidez on this one. I like this move.
It's about time they treat Benavidez a little bit, better than what they did, right? So it's good, and it's good for them. But they owed him a Canelo fight. They should have made him the mandatory to Canelo years ago, and they didn't. So they owe this man. You know what I'm saying? So. It's good, but it'd have been nice to see him and Canelo, or make Canelo, at least drop the belts if he didn't want to fight Benavidez. So that's just my opinion with the WBC.
We'll talk more. Trying to get Maurice Solimine on the program. We're trying to line him up in the next week or two to clarify a lot with the WBC, including stripping Shakur Stevenson of his title at lightweight title. Because he went to fight at 140, that whole mess a few weeks ago in New York at Madison Square Garden with Teofimo Lopez. How about Errol Spence?
He doesn't like me, by the way. I just want you to know that.
Well, he likes me.
Okay, so you could talk to him.
Despite what I write negative about him, he still likes me.
Okay.
Tom, how can no one like you? How can someone say they don't like you?
He kicked me and Pedro off of WBC TV. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Oh, okay. Well, that's never happened to me. Well, that's boxing. All right. Errol Spence, what do you think of this? He hasn't fought since July 2023, the loss to Terrence Crawford to unify and become undisputed at 147. Had a lot of trouble after that. Car accidents, almost lost his life. He says he's coming back. We haven't seen him since 23. According to the Ring magazine, his next opponent will be Tszyu. We don't have a date on that, but strong talk, Errol Spence will be back. Will he be the same? That's to be determined, you know? And Arnold Barbosa Jr. and Kenneth Sims say March 14th, Honda Civic Center, Anaheim on the Zone. That fight set for March 14th. Barbosa Jr., of course, Teofimo Lopez defeated him last May in New York in Times Square, which became the highlight fiasco card fight of the night in Times Square. And then Manny Pacquiao again. He and Pradagovov, 42-year-old. I think I pronounced his right name. Who hasn't fought. Provodnikov, right. He hasn't fought since 2016 in another exhibition. What are they doing? The 8-time World Division Champ, Manny Pacquiao, in an exhibition, the Hall of Famer, April 18th, Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas. Tom, what are they doing, these guys? Come on.
It's an exhibition. Nobody cares. If they made this fight like for some type of ranking or some type of interim or something, then I have a problem. It's an exhibition. We don't have to watch it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't count. So use your time wisely, people. That's what I'll tell people.
And quickly, your thoughts? Yeah. And Pacquiao has a card lined up at the Turning Point Stone Casino up in upstate New York. His promotion with his son again on the card, Manny Jr., with his first name as he goes under Junior. That's going to be a real card. Manny's promoting it. But this, an exhibition! Talking about two exhibitions with Hall of Fame fighters on the same night with us, me and you, Tom. That goes to show you why.
These guys need the money, and you know, there's people out there that want to see it. And
I know, and
it
especially
won't be me.
No, won't be me either. Maybe on Netflix. I don't know. Anyway, quickly, your thoughts on what I said about Errol Spence?
Errol Spence, I think it's good. I mean, listen, in my personal opinion, and people have debated me on this and disagreed. I think Errol Spence has not been approved to fight like in the last 2 years. I think that was the reason why he's been out of the ring. I think he's been wanting to fight. You know, he's been training, he's been working out, he's looked good. I mean, last year there was pictures of him, he looked good, but I just don't think he could get approved a fight. It looks like now he might, you know, be able to get approved to get a fight. Tim Tszyu is a good opponent, you know, a dangerous opponent. So listen, I'm all for it. If fighters want to continue their career, go ahead. My problem with Errol Spence is that, you know, he had a tough fight with Crawford. He lost. But the accidents that he had a brain bleed, right? Like, you know,
yeah,
those are the facts. And coming back from a brain bleed and then even, you know, fighting Danny Garcia and then fighting Crawford, I mean, that's a lot, you know? So I just hope, listen, if he does, he remains safe. He's made a lot of money. He's got a wonderful family. I'm all for the sanity and the health of these fighters. If they want to fight, it's on them. I don't recommend it. But
no.
You know, coming off a brain bleed in a sport where you get hit in the head, I just don't think it's a good idea. But
well, you know what? Interesting to see. It's not going to be the same Errol Spence Jr. we saw against Terrence Crawford. Even that wasn't his best effort as well. But it's not going to be the same.
Yeah, I don't
Errol
think
Spence.
he was 100% in that fight. I don't
wasn't.
think he was 100%. He didn't look good at the weigh-in. He didn't look good on the ring walk. You know, and I don't like making excuses for fighters, but listen, we all have eyes. We've all watched tons of boxing. If you've been watching boxing, you watch for years. You know when a fighter doesn't look good, and they're not 100%. And he wasn't 100% against Bud Crawford.
No, he wasn't. So we'll see where that goes. It hasn't been officially announced yet. I do tell you this: it's time. Before we go to break, keep it in the ring, Rich Mancuso. Like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Facebook.com, Rich Mancuso, X, Spring786, my social media. Like the Keep It in the Ring page. That's Tommy D, my co-host here at Keep It in the Ring. Your comments as they're coming along. We'll get to all of them in a moment. You know what it is now, Tom. What time of his show is called Fact of the Week, isn't it? We don't have a guest this week. It's just me and you, so you're doing the fact. And I know you love this part. I
love
know
this
you love this part of the program. I know you do.
I love this part because, and hopefully there's some people here watching. They can try to get the fact of the week as well. When you're not around and I'm doing it by myself, I try to see if the audience can try to get it too. So let's go. Let's get it. Let's do it.
All right, here. Here's about Joe Louis, was a champion heavyweight 13 years. The great Joe Louis. A current champion also now has been a champion for 13 years in boxing, well known. Inoue from Japan. 13 years he's been a champion. Did you know that?
Really? No, I didn't.
Yeah.
13
Yeah.
years?
13
No way.
years. Yeah, it might have been I don't know, but I come up with 13 years here. I might be wrong, but that's a fact I come up with. And I know it because I got it. It's fact.
Okay. Hey, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm going to look it up, though.
Let me know. Let me know, and I'll stand to be corrected. You know Rich Mancuso will do that. All right? Inoue now is the only boxer to get KOs with sanctioning bodies. All right? The only boxer to get not KOs with sanctioning bodies. Okay? I think I'm reading this right. I am.
Sanction, but what do you mean by sanctioning bodies?
Well, the sanctioning bodies, the alphabet soup organizations.
Okay.
Now, because of 13 years, with Joe Louis didn't have that, and no way does. He's got knockouts in 4 sanctioning bodies. Okay? The 4 sanctioning bodies, in what division did he get knockouts in? That's the fact. You follow me?
So, because obviously he's undisputed. He's undisputed in 2 weight class?
Yeah. But he got 4 sanctioning bodies, 4 KOs. 4 KOs through 4 through sanctioning bodies.
So I'm going to say bantamweight.
You're close.
So super bantamweight?
This is not an easy one. Junior featherweight.
Junior.
That's your fact.
So junior featherweight is super bantamweight then, right? Yeah.
The lower weight classes.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's where he's.
Yeah,
fighting at
basically, right.
now. Okay.
Yeah.
I was guessing the.
All right. So I'm going to give it to you. You got the fact basically because I read it all wrong.
Yeah.
All right.
That was confusing.
Yeah, it was confusing. But then my intent is to confuse you all the time with the facts, isn't it?
I know. I know. But 13 years, I got to look that up. I don't know.
Check that out. But to get 4 knockouts in 4 sanctioning bodies as a junior featherweight champ, WBO, IBF, WBA, WBC, whatever. That's the fact of the week. I'll do better next time. All right? All right. All right, we'll keep it in the ring. I'm Rich Mancuso. That's Tommy D, TD Sports Talk. Like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel here, Rich Mancuso, TD Sports Talk with Tommy D, String Punk Entertainment. Like the Keep It in the Ring Facebook page. Social media at the bottom of the screen, boxing calendar. Quick break. We come back. Give us some time to regroup again a little more. And we got the pro wrestling stuff. WrestleMania season in here. A lot going on with that. AEW as well. Nostalgia to come. Stay with us. This is Keep It in the Ring. I'm Rich. That's Tom. Back in a moment.
Petwell Clinic was built with busy pet parents like you in mind, providing walk-in preventative vet care, treatment for minor ailments, and chronic condition management. You remain with your pet throughout their visit, and all charges are clearly explained, so there are no surprises at checkout. Just walk in to our Paramus, Greenbrook, or Union locations, or visit us at petwellclinic.com for more information.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
And welcome back. I'm Rich Mancuso. That's Tommy D. Keep it in the ring this Thursday night, live. YouTube channel. Like, comment, and subscribe to Rich Mancuso, Tommy D's TD Sports Talk, and String Punk Entertainment. Facebook page. Like that as well. Keep it in the ring. All right. Moving on, Tom. Ready for the pro wrestling? A lot of that as we keep it in the ring.
Road to WrestleMania.
And we're in we're in WrestleMania season. Let's first look at this because Stephanie Vacar and Liv Morgan had an interesting interview with Michael Cole on Monday Night Raw. And then it was translated because she spoke all in Spanish, a.k.a. Bad Bunny, you know. But we have the yeah, that's what it is. I had no idea what she was saying because I know a little Spanish, but not like that, which I thought they shouldn't have done that. But that's part of the angle. Dom was translating very low. And why did Liv Morgan cry? Because they're going to wrestle they're going to go, Vacar is defending her title against Morgan, I think in the Chamber, Elimination Chamber, coming up a week from Saturday on ESPN as their PAL. This is a translation. It's now clear. Vacar didn't just challenge Morgan for WrestleMania. She questioned her toughness, her independence, and her entire journey to the top. And that caused Liv Morgan to cry. Oh, poor old Liv Morgan, who I can't stand anyway.
I don't know what they're doing with that whole division on that side. I mean,
I don't know what WWE doing at all to help. You know, Tom, I'm frustrated because WWE is using too quick of the NXT stars that came up the ladder. And you got to get to know them. If you didn't watch NXT, they're good, but too many, and they were ignoring some of the superstars. But I can understand why, because they're hurt with injuries. A lot of big stars around, including Braun Breaker.
Is Bianca going to be able to make it? Because
no, she's had surgery on the finger. Yeah,
that's the fight to make.
So
they're Jake Card. That's the fight.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen.
Wants to see.
Some of the WrestleMania matches you could see they're coming, including this one, because there is very good, and I've been able to confirm some of this. Jake Paul, Bad Bunny, WrestleMania in Vegas coming up in April. All right, Bad Bunny has been there before, and this would be huge. And Bad Bunny's very popular, and Jake Paul is, not Jake, that's Logan Paul. Logan has become very, very good at what he's doing here in WWE. He learned it quick, and and these two will put on a good show. That's rumored, might be confirmed soon. Bad Bunny, I heard, is already training. Went from his Super Bowl performance to training, and we'll have Logan Paul at WrestleMania. I like that. I like that a lot because I'm a big Bad Bunny fan, whether he sings in Spanish or not.
I think this is good. Hey, Bad Bunny has already performed a couple events, wrestling events, and he's done pretty good for himself for a guy that's never really trained to be a wrestler. And then you see Logan Paul is a good athlete as well. I mean, I think this is looking to be a good match. There obviously will be outside interference, and these guys are very underrated as far as work rate in the ring. So I think this is good for WrestleMania.
Yeah. So there's already talk that the Elimination Chamber coming up, and it seems like Cody Rhodes will win that. There's still to determine who's going to be left, the women and the men at the Chamber next weekend. AJ Lee, Becky Lynch, we saw that again on Monday night, and we're going to see them in the Chamber, probably culminate at WrestleMania. I like Obafemi, and now they're going into a program with him and Rusev, who looks like a different Rusev, like the original one, but tougher. And then Punk, Reigns, and Rollins. And, where Seth Rollins is not in the picture. Will he make it for WrestleMania? And it all depends on what Triple H is doing. We'll get into that in a moment because I want to get into this first. Because one of the WrestleMania matches, I'm sure it's happening. They're teasing it already. Put it up, Tom. Your favorite.
Yes,
El Grande Americano.
that is my favorite right there. This is going to be the match of the night if they make this WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Obviously,
they
the
are.
original
Matt,
Grande is the best
yeah,
one.
it's Chad Gable is now a good guy getting cheered. Mask versus Mask. That's Will Kaiser and the other guy. I hate it. El Grande Americano.
It's the best gimmick they got right now in wrestling. Grande Americano. You know, gracias. I love it. Chad Gable is great. And, hey, is it really Chad Gable? We don't know.
It is Chad Gable. We knew that all along. What do you think? I'm stupid?
Thank you.
And that guy Triple H, putting a match on like this. I mean, yeah, look, it's for it's for mask versus mask.
It's going to be a great match.
He's under a lot of fire. He's under a lot of controversy because fans just don't like the creative part, and there's a lot of talk that his role could be diminished significantly. And you know why? Because look at what they're doing. Monday night, all of a sudden, Adam Pearce comes out gets surprised with a crate delivered to him. And now these are the three things. Who's in that crate? We also still don't know now the new masked man's identity. It's eventually going to be Seth Rollins. We're not dummies.
No, I don't.
Because he's going to get revenge.
No,
That's going to be Seth under that mask, eventually to be revealed at WrestleMania. That's what I think is going to happen. That's another thing that they're playing with. And then Adam Pearce. No, it might be Waller now, but it's going to be Rollins when he's healthy to do it. He'll show up at WrestleMania and reveal he is the masked man, getting vengeance against Paul Heyman and the Vision. Okay? Yeah.
That would stink.
But the Triple H playing with these three suspenseful angles at the same time. The mask, the crate now. Was not Chris Jericho because he's still signed with AEW. Jericho's not.
I didn't know that.
He's not WWE bound.
Man.
You go on the AEW website, you'll see Jericho is still on their roster. He's still under contract.
He's on tour with his group, with his band.
And for him to go to WWE, the Fonzie band, he can't do that. So there's a hold up on that. But first of all, he's still under AEW control. So no Jericho unless we're wrong, because we get swerved all the time in pro wrestling. Heavens, I know that. When I was in the business, I saw that all the time. And the other thing is Adam Pearce keeps getting the phone call because Paul Heyman threatened him, who the higher up is. Who's giving him directions? You got to do it this way, not your way, because of Paul Heyman. And it's obviously a Heyman angle because Paul Lee is a lot in that creativity with his faction. So it's confusing, and fans, this is what it's all about leading up to WrestleMania. I think their product isn't as good as it was, and there's a lot of factors involved with that. Even though they're making an awful lot of money and still do because they charge fans extraordinary prices. And WrestleMania ticket sales are significantly down from last year. Allegiant Stadium, Vegas for the 2-night event. Also, Tom, to ward that off, they are telling nearby establishments they cannot have viewing parties for WrestleMania because it's going to affect their ticket sales. That's how bad it is. And I've never heard that before, So there's a lot going on with WWE, but I want to know who's in that crate. I want to know who the masked man is, and I want to know who Adam Pearce is talking to on the phone.
Yeah, but the crate is that's so like 1990s, like that gimmick. Like, I mean, I don't know what they're doing, but hey, Triple H.
I don't know either. Ship to AEW, your favorite promotion. Last night, of course, MJF and Adam and Hangman are going to be wrestling for Revolution, and it's going to be a Texas death match. Or no, if Page loses, he quits wrestling. That's not going to happen. All right. MJF continues to be the story here. Revolution is in March. Kenny Omega and Swerve Strickland had a match of a match, probably match of the year last night on Dynamite, which was a good one. There is MJF over the weekend because AEW Grand Slam, I thought, got a B plus for me. It was a good free show. You got for 2.5, almost 3 hours. AEW Collision on Saturday night. Good timing because this is a dead time in sports. So if you're a wrestling fan, it was the only thing in town to watch. And Double or Nothing, their next pay-per-view after Revolution in April at your famous arena in Queens, the Louis Armstrong Stadium, National Tennis Center in New York here. They're doing Double or Nothing pay-per-view there.
Oh, when are they going to do that?
That's
May.
That? I think it's May.
Oh, okay, because the weather will be
in mid-May.
Okay.
In mid-May, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah, because I was thinking like next month it'll still be cold.
No. So they're doing that. That ticket sales will be going up on that soon for those in the New York area, all our AEW fans. All right, any comments before we move on and take our last break?
No, everybody's pretty much saying what's up, and then,
Yeah, that means we're boring. We're boring.
Yeah, no. BVO over here making fun. But,
I noticed this before we go to the fast break of the night and go to nostalgia and stuff. I noticed this. Well, me and you banter on too much. We're boring. So we got to make the show more. That's boring to them. They're not commenting. When they don't comment, we're boring.
Well,
so
some
you know
people
what,
don't watch
Tom?
the show. They don't. Some people don't watch the show when it's live. They watch the replay.
Yeah, but you know what, Tom? You know what? Next week, me and you are going to be more controversial, and we won't be boring. We may even have a promotional fight outside the ring, like Hearn De La Hoya and Dana White. How about
not?
that?
I tell you what, if you get Suleiman to come on, people will come watch him because he's controversial.
Yeah, we're going to try and line him up.
And, then he could go back and forth with me. And if you really want to get ratings, you get Pedro to come up, and then Pedro and Suleiman can clash.
We'll do that. That's a great idea. Pedro Fernandez, if you're watching, look out. Tom and I will be contacting you when that happens. I want you on here, the old-timer like me. Tom, let's take our final break brief, but keep it in the ring. I'm Rich Mancuso, live on our YouTube channel. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tommy D Sports Talk, Stream Punk Entertainment. Like the Keep It in the Ring page on Facebook as well. And back with nostalgia, and we'll wrap it all up this week on Keep It in the Ring. Stay with us. I'm Rich. This is Tom. Keep it in the ring. Back in a moment.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
Ah, the pizza commercial. I loved it.
That's your favorite one.
What do you think I'm going to do when we're off the air tonight?
You're going to go get pizza?
Good guess. Good guess, but not from them. They're too far away. You doing good, Tom? You look great. I didn't see you last week.
Thank you. I'm still in the office, so it's
that's why.
Much more freedom.
Okay.
Better air.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. All right. Well, we'll get
out late at night.
We'll get you home soon. We're gonna go with nostalgia right now. We do it every week. We enjoy doing this. Hope you do as well. We go to February 19, 2000. Eric Morales defeated Marco Antonio Barrera. Split decision, retaining the WBC Super Bantamweight title. He claimed the WBO championship at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas, the first of their trilogy. They fought 3 times, 3 good fights. Mexican rivals, they were. Of course, Morales won the controversial decision after he knocked him down in the 12th round. The 5th round was considered, Tom, the round of the year back then. Also, that was voted fight of the year. Barrera and Morales in February 19, 2000. Many said Barrera won this fight by unanimous decision. It was, though, a technical fight. I remember it well. They fought two more times, June 22, 2002, and it seemed like yesterday, in November 2004, Barrera won both of those fights. But this one went to Eric Morales, and we have a clip of that, so let's roll it, Tom, and talk over it a little bit.
Okay. This is basically, I just said, let's go to the round. So it was, that, like you said, it was the fight of the year that year, and the fifth round of this fight was awarded the round of the year. So we're going to play round 5 in its entirety, but on mute for copyright purposes. Fair use, YouTube, fair use.
Let's take a look, Tom, and comment as we go along. HBO Sports, Mandalay Bay, Morales and Barrera, and Harold Letterman's card, the late Harold Letterman, the fight judge. I didn't cover this, by the way, and I covered so many, but this one I didn't cover. February 19, 2000. First of their 3 fights. First of their 3 fights. Yeah. Unbelievable how time flies. That's why I so let's show this clip. And these are the type of fights you want to see as a fight fan. You saw it back then. 2 of the lighter divisions. 2 guys that could punch up close, up front all the time. You're looking at it right now.
Yeah.
Toe to toe.
Yeah, great fight. It was controversy at the end. The knockdown kind of helped Morales a little bit, but I still thought Barrera won this fight. But they awarded, I think this was a split decision win for Morales.
Yeah, it became a split decision.
But everybody thought Barrera had won the fight.
Right. It's controversial. And then it was a result of that started the trilogy. What trilogies were made in boxing back then, and quite often. No. But it was a Mexican rivalry. The 2 of them, Mexican descent.
It was called Campeón versus Campeón, which is champion versus champion. And they were just throwing haymakers here. Morales hurt him earlier on in this round, and Barrera came back. But I think this was a Morales round.
I always, Bert Sugar and I, the late Bert Sugar, the historian and author, my mentor, always loved Marco Antonio Barrera, and there's a reason. And he always liked this division. And I'd sit with Bert, fighters in that time, in that division, and he'd be at ringside with me screaming his lungs out because this is action. And fans love this type of action. 2 smaller guys in boxing, well-known, rivalry it became. And, they weren't boring, that's for sure.
No, not at all. Well, this fight, I mean, listen, there's no technical. They're just throwing haymakers. Morales looked good early on in this round. And then Barrera came back and hurt Morales. He looked like he was ready to drop, and he stood up, after a straight right hand. But great fight. Too bad the guy that I thought won didn't win, as they awarded, in my opinion, they awarded the wrong guy the victory, as Morales won a split decision, but I thought Barrera won hands down this fight.
And correct me if I'm wrong, both of them are in the Hall of Fame, Boxing Hall of Fame as well.
I believe both of them are in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
and then after this, I believe Eric Morales was the guy to beat Pacquiao, to stop Pacquiao for a little bit.
Right. There was a war with Pacquiao as well. Great fights with Pacquiao. Thanks for loading that clip up, Tom. That was great nostalgia going back 26 years ago. February 19, 2000, Eric Morales defeating Marco Antonio Barrera by split decision, retaining the WBC Super Bantamweight title. It became a great trilogy by these 2 Mexican rivals. Great job, Tom. Thanks.
No problem.
Hope you enjoyed, everybody, as we did. So let's move on and wrap this thing up this week. And you take a look at this. I saw this Fab 4 because I covered these guys in the 80s when this was the great era for the sport. Most of the time they fought in Las Vegas at Caesar's Palace. It became a great rivalry with the 4 of them. Hagler, Hearns, Leonard, and Duran. Right?
Hagler,
you could not do better.
4 kings.
So, the 4 kings. Now, out of those 4, my favorite here all the time, and people might question this about me because of No Mas, but I loved Roberto Duran. I loved them all, but I loved Duran. What did you weren't around then, were you?
No, not really. But I mean, I was still pretty young. But my favorite out of the four was Hagler. I thought Hagler was a beast. Hagler was my
Marvelous.
favorite.
That's why
And I
he was
saw
called Marvelous.
Hagler, yeah. Yeah, I
Of
thought
course.
he beat Sugar Ray. I thought he won the fight.
And of course, Duran is always
But,
going to be
he was my
remembered
favorite.
again. No Mas with Sugar Ray Leonard, but he still was my favorite. I just don't this thing with Roberto Duran, No Mas, the controversy, but my favorite because Roberto Duran was unique, different, especially during that era with the four of them. When that era in the '80s with these four, boxing was on top. Boxing was on top. We had no social media again. You found out about the fights. You watched them on closed circuit TV, which became pay-per-view. And you watched these guys on HBO as well. But you also found out what happened in your daily newspaper. How about that, folks?
Another thing, all these guys you see on the screen, all Hall of Famers, and guess what? They all fought each other. So when people come out and say the new Four Kings, the new this, new that, they're not fighting each other. They're not fighting their contemporaries. But these guys right here, shout out to them. They fought each other. If not, sometimes they fought twice or three times.
You good point. And when you talk to fighters today of this era that are out there now, and you bring up who was your favorite fighter, whether you were born before then or watch them in history, you'll hear these four names come up a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
You'll hear that a lot. Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo loved all four of them. He told me that all the time. As well as I. That was great.
Who do they usually refer the current fighters now when you look at the back then? It's either Muhammad Ali or one of these four fighters here.
Well, they bring up Ali and they bring up one of them.
Yeah.
That's not all four. So that's a good point. Good question.
Yeah.
That's what they do. Ali and those four. And when you look at it back then, that was boxing. And historic time for the sport. Whether it gets back to that, we ever get four like this again, we have them, but they don't have the notoriety because of social media and controversy. These guys, Duran was controversial, but all four of them stayed away from it. They did their business in the ring. They made the fights the way fights aren't made today. They made their fights with promoters getting together, and they all had the right managers to do it. Hagler had the Petrosilli brothers, and Leonard basically was with Top Rank most of the time, and of course Hearns as well. And you had Don King in the picture, and then of course Roberto Duran. What can you say? No Mas, great competitor, all four in the Hall of Fame. So I thought we'd bring that up and then go back in the past and look at me again. I know you love this.
Oh yeah, my favorite part. Going back in the past and seeing.
Because I'm cleaning out the files and the wrestling business. What the hell was I wearing that day? Oh my God, I don't even remember.
You try to put on a suit.
Oh my God, I don't know. It didn't fit, but that's SD Special Delivery Jones, who was known as the Jobber in pro wrestling, but then known as the old WWF or WWWF, the Jobber, which you don't have in pro wrestling no more. The guy that would always lose. Frankie Martin was one of them known for that.
The competitive jobber.
Yeah, competitive.
He was a competitive jobber.
SD and I...
Your friend.
He was...
Who's your friend from Gleason's? Your friend from Gleason's. He was a jobber too, but he was Hall of Famer. The trainer from Gleason's.
Johnny Roz. Unpredictable Johnny Roz. That's right. Johnny Rodriguez, who was still training wrestlers at Gleason's Gym in Brooklyn, New York, to come up-and-coming guys. The story here with me and Special Delivery Jones, real name Comrade Ethan, was billed out of the island of Antigua. But he's not from there. He's a regular guy walking around the streets from the Bronx, from the Co-op City area. And that's how we got to really know each other and like each other, because I bump into him in the Bronx. And he found out where I was from. Right? Yeah. He wasn't from the island of Antigua. Conrad Ephraim, the late Conrad Ephraim.
Conrad Ephraim, yeah.
And I worked with him extensively, and I worked with this guy as well. Eyes closed and all. There I am coming up. Remember him? Ray Trackman, the big boss man?
Big boss.
Yeah, there I was worked with him in the past, and of course I couldn't take a photo with a stupid mustache and stupid looking glasses, and my eyes are closed. Because I hated taking photos, that's why. Big Boss Man was a intimidating character, if you remember. Had the nightstick. He'd arrest guys in the ring. Got a great reaction. Again, another legend, late legend in pro wrestling. Hall of Famer, also with WWE. And you know what? Sweetheart. Great guy. Go all out for you. That man, Ray Trackman, the Big Boss Man. So I thought I'd show some of that, more to come in the weeks to come here on Keep It in the Ring. Some of the past with Rich Mancuso. Tom, I know you love this stuff.
I love seeing this. These old pictures of you and wrestlers and fighters. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, there'll be more to come. There'll be more to come. I'm cleaning out the files because I'm putting a book together.
Look at this guy. He says he thought the Big Boss Man. He thought I was the Big Boss Man. He said he looked like me. You see how they do me here on YouTube?
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
I thought that was TD Sports. Guys, thanks for commenting all night long. Do we have any more before we say goodbye that we missed?
A good friend of mine, a manager and a coach that I coach baseball with. I haven't seen in a while. My man Eddie Morales, man. He's telling me what's up. We haven't seen each other in a while. We coached baseball, Little League baseball for years. His sons played, so it's good to see you, Eddie. I appreciate you coming on and saying what's up. Good to see you.
Eddie, if you're watching for the first time or if you have in the past and you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel here, Rich Mancuso, Keep It in the Ring, please do it. I want you all to do that if you haven't done it. What's this? One more, Thomas. Okay, I don't know him, but then he knows me. That's good. So no. I want to thank everyone for commenting every week.
Yeah, Eddie knows you. Eddie's been in the Bronx a long time. He's played baseball. He's coached baseball.
And he probably knows me.
Yeah, he definitely.
Everyone knows me in the Bronx.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. And I thank him and everyone for commenting tonight and staying on with us. Good hour and more here tonight with my good friend, colleague, producer. Thank you, BVO, as always. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Uncle Rich. Yeah. So.
Thank you.
BVO,
I appreciate it.
He's your number one fan.
Oh, we're going to see him soon.
Yeah.
Okay. And,
right.
Of course, the fights this weekend, interesting. Lee Wood and Warrington, but all eyes on Ryan Garcia. Does he finally get his first world title to shut everyone up? That he's finally got a championship against Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title. That's on the zone. So there's boxing this weekend. Tom, great job, my friend. Thanks again with everything, and we'll be back next week. Watch social media. One will be on live. Of course, you could watch us throughout the week with some YouTube shorts. On my Instagram as well, and on Facebook, Rich Mancuso, Tommy D as well. And, of course, X Ring 786. That's where you get me. And, of course, read my content on LatinoSports.com. Baseball season is approaching, so Tom is going to be holding the keys a little more as we go along, as we get there. God willing, I stay healthy. I've been going through a little battle with something not serious. Thank you all for your concern. Tommy, any final words? Where do fans reach you? Where do they see you? Because you're all over the place.
Well, you can catch me here on YouTube.
No, he's not a jerk.
Yeah,
TD's not a jerk, but where did they get you, Tom?
Here on YouTube, and you can catch me on Sundays at 2:05 with my man Pedro Fernandez. Ring Talk Worldwide and Radio. My man Pedro's, he's in Vegas. He's going to be covering the fight. He'll be at the fight.
Oh, good. Yeah,
so
good. I wish I was there as well, but
yeah.
I can't travel right now. So, but we'll get there. All right, Tommy. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, D. Freeze. Thank you all. It's great for your continued support. We'll be in touch. We'll be back next week. You'll again check social media. Tommy D. TD Sports Talk, it's always great. You do a great job backing me up every week. You're helping me out tremendously. I couldn't do it by myself. Stay well, everyone. God bless. Be good to each other. And as always, Tom, what do we say?
Keep it in the ring.
Keep it in the ring. Till next time, fans, I'm Rich Mancuso. That's Tommy D. Take care. Till next time.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.